Welcome to the TOMA Nation's weekly Sunday worship service. We are an all inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the social, economic, and spiritual survival of Black people in urban America. If you enjoy what you see and hear today, the TOMA Nation would like to extend our invitation to you and your family to join us each and every Sunday from 12:30 to 1:30 live here on Facebook from Chicago, Illinois. Tune in and be fed by God's messengers. For more information, you can reach us at 708 730 4858. Please join me as I recite our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that causes all that exists to exist, He that is self existent, He who directs the sunships of millions of years, and He who made time the seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansav, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and our Renubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now we are going to transition into our 13 points of what we believe and know. Number one, we believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number two, we believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number three, we believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all Black. Number four, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a Black man. Number five, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number six, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number seven, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number eight, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denoued objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number nine, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the Black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the Black community of weapons, break up the Black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young Black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. Number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Fasad Aten, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the Black communities of urban America, to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now please join me as I recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Make sure you're paying attention and your right fist is in a ball raised in the air. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in this future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 millions back of it, whose destiny depends on it, the red, black, and green of it, oh, flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what it's told of it. Thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Please keep your right hand in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Please join me while I welcome our speaker for today, the founder of the TOMA Nation, Minister Raheem Fasad Aten. His lecture for today is titled Powernomics Part 2, Building Communities.
In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time, seated the universe. It's known among the ancient Kemites and Egyptians as Amun-Ra and At. Among the Hebrews as Ansel, Yahweh, Elohim. Among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah. Among the Muslims as Allah, the one God. Among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari. Among the Yoruba tribe is Olodumare, Ubata, and many other Orisha gods. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it's to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we are the children of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, and that we are that lost 13th tribe born here in North America. And we are the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient, but yet holy words of peace in the languages of our fathers. Apotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, Lafil, and Ashe. I am Brother Minister Raheem Kased Atom, founder of the TOMA Nation, aka Temple of Mercy Association, along with our co-founder, Minister Omari Jahi Atom, and the First Lady of this movement, Sister Makita Aisha Atom. Again, we come to you every Sunday, bringing to you words of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on both a spiritual level and a earthly or natural level. We've been operating on that energy since 1990. And our movement is an all-inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement with our total dedication to Black people in North America and then throughout the world. Our concentration is on the inner cities of urban America. What we focus on and teach on is all under 3 titles: health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Health, when you hear us come to you to tell you about the proper foods we should eat, we call the food that we are supposed to eat, which are fruits and vegetables, we call it food of the gods. Why? Because that last title you heard, knowledge of self, when you learn who you are and whose you are, and not just running around calling yourself a God, but knowing in your heart that you are a God, then you should eat the food of a God, the food that gods eat. Now, so that's the health part. So the wealth part, well, by us understanding that we are God, children of the Most High God, and now we started eating the proper food of a God, then we find out what is our inheritance. The inheritance usually flows down from your parents. So what is our inheritance? We call God our Father. Well, according to the word in both books, Bible and Holy Quran, it says that the earth is his and the fullness thereof. And throughout literature, our Father gave us a promise. And that promise was land. And brothers and sisters, land is wealth. So if you get your health together and eat the proper foods, after knowing who you are, if you're a pig, you eat food pigs eat. And that's slop and any other filth that they can put in their mouth. If you're a goat, you eat what goats eat. They eat almost anything. They eat aluminum cans. Then you eat that. But if you're a God, a child of the Most High God, and he placed you here on planet Earth, and he calls it your mother, and then you're supposed to draw from your mother. Things that are natural, things that are part of nature, things that makes you one with nature, one with things that are natural, one with your Father God. One of his sons, Yeshua, said, me and my Father are one. And then he told you why. He said, because I do the things that please him. So what is that saying to you and I? If Yeshua, one of his sons, is saying he do the things that please him, then we need to follow his example to draw pleasure, or not draw pleasure, but give pleasure to our Father. That he might be pleased with our doing, that he might be pleased with our undertaking. And if we come and to the knowledge of ourselves and who we are, then we got to be about our Father's business and working on his behalf. Because if we do and take care of the work and the job that our Father give us to do, he'll take care of our challenges and things that we are doing. It works hand in hand. So if you're going through something, that must be because you're not attached to the Father. If you're going through something and you're worried about the plague that God placed on the planet, it must be because you know you're not eating the food of a God. And so now you got to get back on the path because you fell off. And if you never knew about it, then you're not responsible for what you didn't know, but you're going to be responsible after today because now you know. This movement has been teaching and speaking like this for over 30 years, trying to get our people to reattach themselves back to the God who created us, back to the understanding of the greatest of the minds, of the great, great mind, the All-Mahdi, the great mind that loaned us a portion of its mind and takes that part back when you expire or when your vehicle, your body expires. That part of its mind that it loans you goes back to it. Now, intentionally didn't say him, all right? This is information we need to know. Now, TOMA Nation, we have prescribed readings. We have 13 points of what we believe and know. And by us being all inclusive, dealing with health, wealth, knowledge, and self, we're not tied to a religion, but we promote the things that Black people in North America need to have and be aware of in order to function and survive as gods on this planet, whose goal is to take back that which is ours. That's a whole lot of stuff. That's a whole lot of responsibility, ain't it? But we got guides, G-U-I-D-E. We have guides. The creator or the creative force send these guides to us through the womb of a woman to be born into this world and raised up as messengers to bring to you as they channel from on high information that will help get us out of our condition and get us back on our feet and make us soldiers again so we can fight the war of getting back that which is ours. But see, we want a piecemeal. We want to take off the plate what we want. TOMA Nation, we read the Bible, the Quran, and 4 or 5 other holy books because we know that the oneness of God is the same in all of them. And so I'm going to read to you something from the Holy Quran. Mind you that this month, our prescribed reading is a book called Power Numbers. And the author of that book is Claude Anderson. And he is speaking a lot about the economics of Black people and how to get off the bottom. But I'm pushing health, wealth, and knowledge of self. This is the last month for the Powernomics. And I want to read something about it dealing with building our communities. Building our communities. If you look around us, you can see we're not building our communities. If you go in other neighborhoods, you'll see other ethnic groups building their community. And as they expand building their community, they looking at ours unbuilt. And they like, wow, well, we did some of that too. And so they start moving into our communities and we watch. Why? Because our sight is on the white community and want to get next door to them and live on their block and in their hood. And so while ours go to hell. Why? Because we got the wrong mindset. So I'm going to read from both of these books because I only have less than an hour. And I want to share with you what the Creator is bringing to me for you. So, in the Holy Quran, Surah 16, which means chapter 16, Ayat 43, which means chapter. Ayat means chapter. It goes as follows. And before thee also the messengers we sent were but many, to whom we granted inspiration. Now, this is the Holy Quran. And these are verses of the Quran. And it says, before thee, that means before you came into being, before you were here, we sent messengers. Who is we? The Holy Quran speaks in a plural sense. And we is the God family. We would be called, under the Hebrew understanding, Elohim or Elohim, which means the God family. And see, that'll take you into another level of our universal teaching. And I don't believe I have the time to really go into that to show you the breakdown structure of the whole God family coming from the great mind. All right? But it says, we sent but men, nothing but men, to whom we granted inspiration, but they get messages. If ye realize this not, ask then of those who possess the message. Say, ask the person who constantly shares with you that he is a message. Ask him about it. Ask him what it's about. I am one of those messages. Just one. I am not the message. I am not the Messiah, but I am one of the messengers that the Creator sent into this world to bring to you what he has inspired me to bring. And so he says, we sent them with clear signs and scriptures, and we have sent down unto thee also the message, that thou may explain clearly to men what is sent for them, and that they may give thought. Right? Clear signs. See, the only thing the messenger of God is supposed to do is deliver a clear message. And I want to truly see if I can separate some of these things in some of those pictures. There are different levels of being a messenger. When you saw Yahweh ben Yahweh, when you saw Elijah Muhammad, when you saw Minister Louis Farrakhan, when you saw Malcolm X, these were spiritual messengers of God that came into the world to bring you knowledge and information of the world to come, and then to give you the tools to build that nation on this planet, but training your heart and mind to keep the Creator first in doing everything that you're doing. Go forward, but let God lead. That is what those brothers were teaching and doing. Now, I named them because they don't do the work, but they put the word out, and God give them laborers. Some say followers. And then he delegates and they do the work. Those type of messages have to remain clear. They can't be bombarded with all sort of administrative duties and all sort of other duties and whatnot, because they won't be able to channel clearly what's coming through them from on high to share with you, because they're bogged down with the cares and the things of this world. That group that I named are those messengers on a level of an ascended master sent into the world with the knowledge not only of their community, but knowledge of the planet Earth, knowledge of the cosmos, knowledge of other planets, knowledge of many different levels of existence, different dimensions. Yes, they're not able to get it all out, but that's what they're here with. That's what they come with. Now, each one upholds a particular religion. Now, you saw Garvey, you saw Martin Luther King. They could have been Christians. You saw Noble Drew Ali. Yeah. Saw Noble Drew Ali. All of them came with what you say, a government on their shoulder to bring to you the information that we need inside of this decadent world to help us to become independent of our oppressor, of the white man. Each one came with a blueprint to build a kingdom on earth. Now, they each have their own method and way of doing it. But the ones that I named, I'm mentioning this because it's a reason for it. The ones that I named, the Creator sent them only to do one thing, and that was to deliver a clear message. And it was whether they listened or not, you make sure it was clear, cut and dry, so that nobody would have an excuse when the warnings go out, when the good news go out, when the instructions on how to be watchful and pray to escape some of the plagues and calamities that are coming upon the earth. God give those type of men that type of information. And they must remain clear. Now you got a few of them who are on the ground, who are out there, godly and all. They were helping to build with their hands. They were building, helping on the roofs. They were doing all kind of stuff. That's cool. That's what they do. Martin Luther King, he understood a nation, but he didn't come with the assignment to build a kingdom on earth. He came with an assignment to try to help us get what he felt was our rightful, what would I call it? Well, equality. That we should be treated on the same level with other ethnic groups. That we should be allowed the same opportunities that other ethnic groups have in this system. That's what he came to share. And he did his job. The men I named came with a kingdom on their shoulder. And they came with the instructions on how to build. They came with the attitude and the characters, sharing with you what type of attitude and character that you're going to have in order to live in that kingdom. And they stood on it. And they didn't deviate from it. But yet, the Holy Quran tells you, they were but men. Men like you and I. But you have to have the spirit and the power of discernment to know if that man standing before you is a man sent. Sent, S-E-N-T. According to the Bible, say, how can we hear without a preacher? See, he said preacher. I'll say a messenger. And then how can that preacher preach or teach except he be sent? See, to be sent here and to be born here is two different things. You can be born into the world and then you out here doing what you see people doing in the world, trying your best to keep up with the Johnson, to get all you can on the earth and this and that and all that, to dodge and duck all kind of crap that's happening, even be a perpetrator of, but you was born here to come in and do that. But to be sent, see, to be sent is a duty. To be sent is an assignment. Someone sent you to do something. And that's what I'm saying. I'm showing you the difference now. Just their messengers with different assignments. My assignment is to lay the blueprints out of those who came before me. Not Martin Luther King, excuse me, but the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garden, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I would have to say the Honorable Dr. Webb Evans. And I'm bringing to you information on every level, health, wealth, knowledge of self, on how we can get up and become the gods that we're supposed to be. The blueprints are laid out. Anyone after me can pick them up and follow it. We did not reinvent the wheel, but we did improve on it. You ever see where they have laundry detergent out and it says later on new and improved? It's the same thing, they just improved on it. We're not sent here to reinvent a wheel, but to improve on the wheel that was already given. Shine it up a little bit. Add some more stuff to it, but don't take it away. Add some more stuff to it until we eventually reach our maturity. I'm gonna read the rest of this. I might not have time to read Power Novice. Hopefully I will. Now it asks a question, do then those who devise evil plots, they talking about devise evil plots against his messengers, said, do those who devise evil plots feel secure that God will not cause the earth to swallow them up, or that the wrath of God will not seize them from directions they little perceive, or that he may not call them to account in the midst of what they're doing, going to and fro without a chance of they're frustrating him, or he may not call them to account, but by a process of slow wastage. You're alive, but you wasting away. You're alive, but you suffer. Do they not look at Allah's creation? Even among the inanimate things, how their very shadows turn around from the right hand to the left, prostrating themselves to God, and that in the humblest manner. And to God doeth obeisance all that is in the heaven and on earth, whether moving, living creatures, or angels, for none are arrogant before their Lord. They all revere their Lord high above them, and they do all that they are commanded. There's some footnotes here that I won't have a chance to read. If I can get back to it, I will. But I was inspired to bring you that. If you don't have the God mind, if you don't have the God essence in you, then whatever community you build, whenever we rebuild the Black community, if our Father, our Creator, is not in it or leading it, it would turn back to the hell that it's in already. The answer to reducing the gun violence is knowledge of self. How can, if you realize who you are, a child of God, a God, which makes you a God yourself, how then can you kill another God? How can you harm yourself? And you're God, and the earth is yours, because your Father is the Lord of this earth, and all the things that are in it. And all you got to do is get back to your Father, like the prodigal son in the Bible, who found himself so far away from his Father that he had got to a point where he lost everything. And then he wound up working a job, taking care of pigs. But they wasn't giving him enough money. He wasn't earning minimum wage. So he was so hungry one day that he saw the pig slop that he was feeding the pigs. It looked like it might be a little good, might taste a little good. And so he got on his knees to eat that. And that's when he came back to his senses and said, what am I doing? Let me get up off my knees and let me go back to my Father and fall down and ask him to take me back in. That's the prodigal son. Brothers and sisters, when will you wake up? Prodigal sons, prodigal daughters, when will you wake up and say, Father, I have sinned and have not found myself to be worthy to be your son and your daughter. But please take me in. Take me back in. I knew right from wrong, but I refused to do it. I knew what your will was, but I wanted to do mine. Father, help me to take back the communities you gave us. Help me to stand tall and be strong against the enemies of our lives. Help me to be a part of and join a movement that is under that same understanding, which is building the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven on earth. Help me to find that movement. Brothers and sisters, I don't know how much time I got. I'm going to try to read a couple of things here about building communities, but you got to be under God to do this. You have to be back in the mindset of your Father in order to make this happen. Because another thing of God has is no fear. Did you hear me? I said another thing of God has is no fear. Because he knows that his Father is the only entity that can give life and take life. And so the powers that be that we're sent up against, like Moses, the powers that be that we're sent to expose, we have no fear of them. Because our Father said, I got this. You just say what I tell you to say. I got this. We're talking about building communities. Claude Anderson said, historically, societies were built upon three institutions that served as pillars of the community. It was the family, and look at how this devil is trying to break up the Black family. Years ago in the 90s, I was teaching and warning our brothers and sisters. And at that time, they had gay rights movements, but Black people wasn't even a part of it at all, period. They had movements, white people I'm talking about, had movements against their white man, excuse me. And they were going against them and competing against them for their equal rights. Black people weren't involved in it at all, period. Go back and look at the movie Claudine, and you'll see how the Black man and Black woman were constantly trying to come together, but that particular government or state or politician or city worker constantly was trying to separate. We weren't a part of that. They've always used Black people and put them on the front line to push them out among the ones that they consider their enemies, to fight their war, and then they reap the benefits. I'm telling the truth. I know a gay brother who was up north with the white folks, did everything, hanging out with them in the gay clubs, partying with them, everything. Years later, he's living on the south side of Chicago because he experienced the racism and everything else a black man experienced. And it didn't matter if he was gay. He saw that they were using him. He saw that they were opening doors to let him in because of what his very presence and his very talent was bringing to the table. And when he found out he was used, he left. Brothers and sisters, I don't care what your persuasion is. I don't care if it's gay, straight, bi, whatever. If you pick any one of those groups to be a part of, and it's headed by white people, you're the part in that game. Did you hear me? You're the part in that game. They use black people on the front line of every war that they've had in this world. They've done that. I'm talking about America now. And they still do it today. And what benefits do the black war veterans get? Zero, none. They still get treated like slaves. Wake up, Black America. We gotta do for ourselves. Nobody's gonna get us back on our feet but us. Nobody's gonna stop the killing but us. Nobody's going to stop the flood of guns coming into our communities but us. Nobody's gonna stop it. Fast forward. With all they have against us, brothers and sisters, if we don't get up and do something, they created AIDS. We were the target to reduce our population. They flooded our communities with guns to kill off our young people in their puberty, in their prime, so that whatever children they were going to have, 5, 6, 3, or 4, they will never be born on this planet. AIDS aimed at your sexual desire, so that you won't be able to function and procreate. I'm telling you this. I know you don't believe it. You don't believe it. But we know when you have a target, you're going to have some on the side that might get hurt or injured, but that's collateral damage. But the real target is us. Because what I taught you at the very beginning about who you really are and whose you really are is what they are the most afraid of. You accept and becoming their God. Because then and then alone will they be rendered defenseless and won't be able to do anything but submit or be killed. I said, they've been using us. They used black people to get in the Bud Billiken parade. The white gays did. They tried to get in the Bud Billiken parade. They was told they couldn't. And then the black ones stood up. Oh yeah, they got you to do it. But you don't lead they white parades, do you? Matter of fact, in the news, you hardly even see you in the news, showing you what they think about you. But they use you to go up against a black newspaper. Then y'all got a chance to be in there. Yes, they use us off of our backs, like they doing right now in our community, taking all our money out to help serve their community and come back to take more money out. And we just watch this. We just sit still and talk about it. Then when somebody rises up to try to expose who's responsible and then give you a plan to get out, you go against him. You turn him in. Yeah, Judas. And because most messengers of God are human, which means black man, I know you don't like that one. They left the other group out, didn't I said human, hued man, colored man, black man, dark soil man rules this world. But we've had it diminished. Knowledge of self breaks every shackle and every chain. Knowledge of self, true knowledge of self, accepting it, you'll be free overnight. You can't fear the powers that be, because once you recognize it, you'll be seeing the powerlessness that they have. They have no power over what we have power of, and that's ourselves. Now they want you to take this cure for the plague, and then they're coming out just like who they are, the prince of the power of the air, the image makers, coming out full force. And everywhere we go, on every event, there's a truck talking about go and be vaccinated and get a gift and get a prize and get a debit card, some kind of something. They told the black athletes that they're going to start being charged thousands of dollars every time they come on the floor and they haven't been vaccinated. Oh, I'm telling them what they do. Why? All I want to say is this. Anything that's dealing with your DNA and your RNA that takes you all the way back to Genesis, when that's the same stuff they were dealing with when they were creating life on this planet. Messenger RNA, messenger ribonucleic acid. See? And your DNA is shaped like a ribbon, which is showing you that the beings that was on this planet, black beings that created Adam and Eve, that Eve was actually created from his ribonucleic acid, his rib, ribose. Now they've gone so far because they can't wipe us off the planet. They done went as far as back to Genesis to get to us. Brothers and sisters, y'all don't see that. They done went back to the garden. Why do you think, brothers and sisters, that Bill Gates involved 207,000 acres of farmland? Back to the garden, they said. Our only and our last hope to get rid of that group that's about to wake up and find out that they are truly the gods of this planet and they're ready to take over in the 33rd degree of white nation. They have a black man. Say he is right now sleeping. But we must keep him sleeping. If he wakes up, he'll take over. Brothers and sisters, throughout every white frat, fraternity, secret order, or whatever, we are the number one subject of discussion. You don't want to believe it, I know. But you heard it here. And it's recorded. They don't expose it. And they got us in so many ways that you're blind to. But God sent messages to uncover, to show you. I was on another app, it's called TikTok, where I was seeing young people, 17, 18, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, speaking just like this. Being shown things to come, putting together pieces of the puzzle and seeing a clear picture and sharing it with the public. Knowing in their hearts that what they're saying can get some backlash from the government. What does that make me feel like? That makes me feel happy. That makes me feel joyous that it's going to continue, that it's going to continue to roll out when I'm gone. And the Creator going to continue to send messages to wake us up. Even if Black Americans don't wake up. The Holy Quran said that if you don't wake up, if you don't get up and do what he told you to do, he will put another race in your place that will do what he sent you here to do. That's how deep that is. Do you want to be replaced? Because the white man did it. You want God to replace you? Yeah, the white man did it. He said, the hell with you. You got these things. That was the first one. Now you want God to replace you with a whole nother race that will do what he said, that will not bow down to Satan, that will not be kissing up against them, begging them for stuff, what we should be doing for ourselves, charting our own independent course, circulating our own McDonald's, pooling our own resources, claiming the oneness of God instead of all these many damn gods. You want him to replace us because we refuse to do it? And we refuse to take back that which is ours because we want to lounge around and lollygag and stay drunk all damn day? All right. You comfortable working for your enemy and coming home and waiting every week for your paycheck. Wake up, Black America. I don't know how much time I got. And I know I went away from the book. But all it takes for me to do is read 2 lines and I can talk for hours. This book, Powernomics, has been with us for over 27 years. And we've been reading it. Really ain't even, it is 20 years, yeah. Because it came out in the 90s. Black Americans need a solid foundation of communities upon which to begin empowering ourselves. Like Moses, we must begin to build physical communities and maintain a strong sense of community. Moses used his vision of the promised land to mobilize his people for a 40-year journey to a land upon which Jews built functional communities, families, religious institutions, commerce, schools, and a strong sense of a community. Now, when we say religious institutions, I'm going to say spiritual institutions. Now check this out. Across America, groups, other ethnic groups, are aggressively seeking territory or communities in which they can store their wealth, their resources, and political power to enjoy and preserve for their future generations. Did you hear that? The Hispanics and others, right? They are assembling their economic and political intentions behind their Spanish language and culture. They intend to use both to capture territories. When you hear them playing that Hispanic music on your block, that's them daring you to say something. And you got to sit there and be forced to hear Hispanic music all day because they claiming your block. They claiming your territory. Am I telling you to go and fight against them? No. I'm telling you to compete against them. I'm telling you to go downtown and look up homes and houses. I'm telling you to go and look up vacant lots. I'm telling you to get together and if you don't have a family to do it, create you a partnership with a team of you all and go and take back your community. That's what I'm asking you to do. And all we do is sit back and watch. How about doing that? Get up off your lazy behind. Because God gonna get us from being lackadaisical, procrastinating, and what type of excuse are we gonna have? They commit themselves. It says the practice of seeking territory for communities will intensify as more and more people from around the world immigrate to America. They come to America in search of a better quality of life, not to integrate with whites or to get along with Black Americans. They're coming to this country to get ahead economically and to find wealth and fortune. They commit themselves to competing with any and all groups, ethnic groups, economically and politically on behalf of themselves. Garvey told us, race first. On behalf of themselves, their families, and their native countries. Though they are aware of the crime problem in Black neighborhoods, their advantages outweigh the disadvantages. They find territory and build communities. How much time I got?
4 minutes.
You said 4 minutes? Now,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to read some of the elements of a functional community. All right? Now that we identify some of the major menaces and impediments to building Black communities, let's begin to design the kind of communities that we want and need. These communities must be built to overcome all the previously mentioned destructive elements. The first thing we must do is convert residential neighborhoods into functioning communities. See, we got neighborhoods, but now we only got hoods because we took off neighborhoods. First, we should have an independent economy that is wholly owned by residents of the community and provides consumer products, services, businesses, and employment opportunities. Second, they should have an active code of conduct and group accountability. Look at that. Third, they should have a form of governance that collectively speaks for the residents and is capable of applying political pressure to outside groups. Then he breaks them all down. Maybe I'll be able to read it to you one day, but if I don't, get the book. He said it was the national plan to empower Black America, and we were supposed to put this plan in place before the year 2000. And guess what, brothers and sisters? We didn't do it. Dorothy Tillman, former alderman, she tried her best to do it. But white people got Blacks to come against her. I'll say it again. White people got Blacks to come against her. She was beginning to build. She was beginning to teach us Claude Anderson's principle. She brought Claude Anderson to the Black community about 4 times. And he told us, and they got rid of her. She's not dead. She has a program on Saturday mornings that people got to get up early to listen to. But she listened to Claude Anderson. And I'm asking you to listen to Claude Anderson, to read his book, and to get in line by joining us. When I say us, I'm not just talking about TOMA Nation. I am talking about TOMA Nation, but I'm also talking about other organizations and groups that I know of, like the New Black Panther Party, the New Era Chicago, the UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association. I'm speaking of groups like that, the Nation of Islam. Yes. But I had to say TOMA first. There's no way that I could be going 30 years and be a fool to say I don't need people and I don't need no help. I need help. I need laborers. I need workers. I need people in the vineyard helping me to build God's kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. I thank you all for listening. I leave you as I greeted you, in ancient but holy words of peace in the languages of our fathers, of Hotel, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, Lafia, and Ashe. Thank you and peace.
Thank you for tuning in today to TOMA Nation Sunday Worship Service. We hope you enjoyed the lecture by Minister Raheem today titled Powernomics Part 2, Building Communities. If you would like to support our grassroots movement, you can send us a donation on Cash App at TOMA NATION. Once again, that's TOMA NATION. If you would like more information, you can reach us on our Facebook channel, or you can give us a call at 708-730-4858. See you next week.